Well, but for over a decade now, Manchester has been England's musical mecca.
Oh, Manchester, so much to answer for.
It's top people, it's top buzz, top music, top atmosphere, no hostility, unity.
A lot of people in Manchester seem more into music than everywhere else because there's not really a lot else to do.
Looking for the next big thing in pop music? You may need to look no further than Manchester, England.
Hello, my name is Hugh and you are listening to Madchester. We'll be bringing you the best news and entertainment from across the city, featuring interviews with some up-and-coming bands, plus so much more. I can't wait for you to hear what we've got coming up in today's show. It's going to be so big. And as always, we love it when you get in touch with us. Are you in the car on the way to work? Are you at home raving in the kitchen? Let us know how you're listening at Radio Madchester on Twitter or 01499 for the text. The track that's playing at the moment is Chemical Brothers with Go. It's just one of them songs that when you listen to it, you know it's going to be a good day. They're one of Manchester's biggest musical products, and they released a new single just before Christmas, so we've got our fingers crossed in the studio for some new material this year. So, let's see what's coming up in today's show.
We have a roundup of all the current music scene and nightlife in Manchester.
Taxi! To the MEN Arena, please. Hello. How you doing, man?
Yo, how are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
A quiz of all things 0161 with a chance to win VIP tickets to Parklife Festival.
And for Manchester Mondays, we follow Leon around the record shops in the Northern Quarter.
There always has been a very strong vinyl market. It's incredible the amount of re-releases and the amount of material that's actually available on the vinyl format now is so much wider and so much more in depth than it was 2 or 3 years ago.
And the infamous Fifth Nightclub gets its very own rave review.
But first, over to Leon and Hugh with the news and weather.
The Gorillaz released 4 new tracks: Saturn's Bars, Andromeda, We Got the Power and Ascension. The record, the band's first LP in 6 years, will be titled Humans and released on April the 28th. The LP will follow 2011's The Fall, and they will play the album in full at a London gig on Friday. And the Charlatans have announced details of a surprise new album, Different Days, featuring Johnny Marr and Paul Weller among the special guests. The band and the frontman, Tim Burgess, released the news on social media this week. Different Days will be released on May the 26th. And finally, the Dark Crystal soundtrack has now been reissued on vinyl. This soundtrack for Tim Henton and Frank Oze's 1982 fantasy film The Dark Crystal is being reissued on vinyl for the first time since the film's release. Celebrating the movie's 35th anniversary, the LP is limited to a pressing of 1,500 copies and is out on April the 22nd. And now, time for Leon with the weather.
Weather with Manchester.
And the weather today in Manchester, well, it will start with some dry spells, and then it will gradually get into foggy patches. Showery outbreaks of rain will then arrive from the southwest and possibly turn into heavy and thundery in places. Despite this, there will still be some drier, brighter spells, so if you haven't made the most of your sunny weekend already, get your deck chairs out before it's too late. And now, how about some top tweets?
As always, thank you to everyone who's been trying to get in touch with us via text and Twitter. As always, we love to hear what you guys have to say to us, basically. Josh Knowles, my favourite thing about Manchester is Antwerp. I love how you don't have to dress up to have a good time. I agree with you there, mate.
And Brunny123 saying, I absolutely love the Northern Quarter, and it's so social, and the live music there is just great.
And Mike Parksy3 says, Fifth is my guilty pleasure. It's awful, but you can say no to 99p drinks. Again, truth.
And Tomo Burns is saying 42s is the place to be on a Tuesday night. I end up singing my heart out every time.
So please keep them tweets coming in. You can reach us at Radio Madchester on Twitter. Coming up after the ads, we have part 1 of the rave review section, as well as we look at some of Manchester's rising indie stars. Don't go anywhere.
This is Madchester on Utter Radio.
I'm starving. Should we get a Domino's?
Yeah, I'm thinking of veggie volcano, you know.
Ugh. Can we please have some meat? Something like a mighty meaty?
But veggie volcano, it sounds so eruptive.
Torn between 2 pizzas? Why not have both of them?
Yeah.
What's better than a pizza? 2, of course.
Yeah.
Easy, Tiger. 2 for the price of 1. 2 for Tuesdays, now at Domino's.
Want to travel around the country inexpensively?
Of course. But how?
The National Rail Service. And now you can get up to a third off with your National Rail card.
So I could travel from Manchester to Liverpool?
Of course. Or from Glasgow to Swansea.
Sarah, have you got enough money for our taxi?
Well, we got about 20p.
Oh no. But how will we get home?
Got no cash? Get an Uber. Go onto the App Store or Google Play and download the app now.
This is Madchester on Utter Radio.
Yo, so welcome back, guys. And basically this week, Hugh's been out around Manchester for a roundup of what's happening in the nightlife, the clubs you need to be in, the bands you need to see. So without further ado, here it is.
Another widely renowned aspect of Manchester's culture and giving its music scene a platform is the nightlife, with a range of pubs and clubs which deliver and indulge in an array of music tastes, such as 42nd Street and Venue, which represent the indie music scene, Satan's Hollow and Rebellion for you metal and rock lovers, and South, Hidden and Antwerp Mansion for you techie dance music heads out there. Okay, so I'm now on Market Street on a very rainy day in the heart of Manchester, and if we just walk round the corner, we'll be in the Northern Quarter, where there are live music events and bands on every night in venues such as the 90 Day Cafe, the Castle Hotel and the Ruby Lounge, just to name a few. Let's go. Scruff of the Neck currently herald the leading edge of live music promoting in Manchester, about a month ago holding events in every live music venue on Tib Street on a Saturday night. Mark Lippman, the founder, gives a lot of bands the chance to draw up a big crowd and to be heard. I think he's doing a great job too, and Scruff seems to be growing by the week. One indie band to look out for in Manchester at the moment are Larkins. Currently affiliated with Scruff of the Net Records and based out of Manchester, they're making some pretty cool waves in the live music scene, being reviewed as having big anthems for the future by Joe Good from Radio X. Here's one of their newest singles, Velvet. Another band who seems to be getting some attention recently is Carnival Club, who recently played at the Ruby Lounge and earlier this year managed to get a set at the O2 Ritz, proving they're doing something right. I've seen these lads before and I really think they're going to be ones to look out for in the future. Here's one of their newest singles, House of Cards. Taxi! To the MEN Arena, please. Hello. How you doing, man?
Yo, how are you?
I'm good, man. How are you? What's your name?
My name?
Yeah.
Zishan.
Zishan, nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you,
Mr. Taxi Driver. What night would you say is most busiest for people to go out? What night? Saturday night, definitely.
Saturday night. Your student areas, well, see where like obviously students and stuff like that, all majority goes like round about, obviously you probably know yourself, probably Fifth Ave or something like that.
Yeah.
They'll probably get more smash on that sort of area. But if you want like a like a good night out or a good drink and stuff like that, you got the Revs the Cuba and Albert Slosh and around that sort of area.
Cool.
Yeah,
do you tend to go out?
Me no time, just working busy, mate.
Yeah. Thank you. And on to some bigger music events at the MEN Arena. Craig David will perform on Saturday the 1st of April, and the widely anticipated Ed Sheeran will be playing on Saturday the 23rd and 24th of April, following the release of his new widely anticipated album, Divide. It would be great if you could tweet in and let us know your favourite song of the new album. Here's one of my personal favourites so far, Eraser.
I used to think that nothing could be better than touring the world with my songs. I chased the picture perfect life, I think they painted it wrong. I think that money is the root of all evil and fame is hell. Relationships Relationships and hearts you fix, they break as well.
Ed has openly come out with the meaning of this song being the family troubles and addictions that have come out of his fame and fortune as an artist.
Friends and family are meant to be the ones that are there for you, and 90% of the time they are, but every now and then there's the odd comment that just like sinks your soul and you're like, oh. So that was where that line came from.
I think it's a great song and deserves to be up there in the charts at the moment.
This is Madchester on Utter Radio.
Hello, this is the rave reviews section. My name's Theo, and together we'll be looking at everything ravey in Manchester. In this section, we like to focus on the good instead of the bad, but this week we have a very, very special feature. We're going to be discussing Fifth Nightclub. Woo!
Oi, oi.
Well, I just want to have a think about why it was voted the worst nightclub in the UK by the readers of the tab. You two, what do you think, yay or nay?
I think I have to go nay, unfortunately.
I have to go with a big fat nay.
Yeah. Well, on this show, we also care about your opinions, so I went out and asked some people what they thought about Fifth Avenue.
I was going to say the bouncers, but I don't really like them. They like me. Cheap drinks.
Yeah.
Sometimes the music's good. It's a mixture of music.
Would you agree that it's the worst club in the UK, though?
No, I actually wouldn't. But I saw this on Facebook and I got really annoyed about it. It's not the worst club, but it's not the best. I wouldn't choose there to go there. It's like, it's last minute. It's a last minute club.
I saw the Chuckle Brothers once, and that was pretty much a dream come true. But yeah, Fifth is probably the worst club in Manchester, I think. I hate it.
I like the fact that there's different rooms. That's it. Yeah, there's different rooms. This guy tried to start a fight on one of my friends.
I disagree with all these opinions, and I think Fifth is great. It's cheap and cheerful and a good night. Because there's bars on the ceiling. A lot of my friends hang off the bars and they get kicked out for doing gymnastics. The bouncers don't like that.
Unfortunately, I'm afraid to say I have to agree with the readers of the tab. I'm in no way shocked and disgusted at the fact that Fifth is the worst nightclub in the UK. I mean, the place stinks of chunder, and you have to pay £1 for fresh air. The club's not destined for greatness, really, is it? But who am I kidding? I'll definitely be there when they book Honey G, and so should you.
This is Madchester on Utter Radio.
Thank you, Theo. Very interesting as always. Still to come in the show, we're giving you the chance to win VIP tickets in a game we like to call Almankia. But now it's time for Madchester Mondays. Madchester Mondays, for you those of you who don't know, is when I send Leon out exploring the streets of Manchester for something great. Over the weekend, someone told me that last year, vinyl outsold the CD for the first time since 1988, which here at the studio gave us the idea to send Leon out over the course of yesterday afternoon to explore Manchester's famous Northern Quarter and its vinyl culture. So what is making more people gravitate back to vinyl again? And as always, don't forget to tweet in your thoughts on the show so far at Radio Madchester.
My trip begins in Manchester's famous Northern Quarter. I'm currently on Alderman Street outside Piccadilly Records, famous for its rich daily changing archive of latest releases across most genres of music. So let's head in and talk to one of the owners there. I first wanted to ask them about the culture and a bit of the history behind the Northern Quarter.
Well, actually, it was a good idea of the council's many years ago when there was absolutely nothing on this street. Decades and decades ago, Oldham Street and Market Street were the main shopping streets. Oldham Street then declined until there was nearly nothing on it. Council reduced the rent. What that led to was like a lot of artistic people moving in. Record stores started to open here, bars, whatever. So it was the low rents that actually attracted people, especially people who wouldn't have enough money normally, and that kind of really started the Northern Quarter as an idea.
I'm now about to go into Vinyl Exchange across the road on Alden Street from Piccadilly Records to meet a man called Simon, who's going to tell me a little bit more about vinyl. When you walk in, you're greeted by an upstairs bit which is actually just CDs, and now as you can hear now, I'm on my way downstairs to where all the vinyls are kept. So I am with Simon. Hello, Simon.
Hello.
What do you think has taken attention away from CD in recent years and drawn people towards vinyl?
I don't think there's been drive away from the CD. I think there always has been a very strong vinyl market, it's incredible the amount of re-releases and the amount of material that's actually available on the vinyl format now is so much wider and so much more in depth than it was 2 or 3 years ago.
How does vinyl exchange contribute into the success of vinyl? What do you think keeps bringing people back?
I think the thing about vinyl exchange is, as a shop, we have an extremely wide selection of different styles of music, from deep house, jazz, funk, soul, reggae, right the way across into the rock genre. If you came in with any sort of different tastes, you should be able to find at least something that would appeal to you. And I think that's representative, really, of records as a format.
Thank you very much.
I've literally walked out one shop and into another. I'm now round the corner at Vinyl Revival, a record shop specialising in the sounds of Manchester dating back to the 1950s. It's a shop which is full of rare collectibles. I had originally planned to meet with the owner of the shop, however he had fallen ill, so instead I thought why not get some feedback off the customers there. I talked to a customer called Abby, a former university student here in Manchester who had travelled back into Manchester to visit the Northern Quarter and its record shops.
Do you get a sense of community when you're in record shops like across Manchester?
Yeah, I don't actually live in Manchester. I used to, and I'm visiting, and it is one of the things that I like to do when I come and visit, just go to the old record shops, because they're all conveniently in one location as well, so you can do a little trail of them.
I'm currently on that trail. Do you collect vinyls at all?
Yeah, I used to own. I went through a stage of buying vinyl.
What made you collect them?
I got like a free 7-inch single with the NME.
I like everyone has the first memory behind it. If it makes you any better, mine was just the Stone Roses single, like normal first album that my dad gave me on my 18th birthday, which he bought at the time, and a record player that he had from when he was my age. And he was like, you've got to go and get some records, and I've been addicted now for about 2 years.
I think the first single I bought at a record fair was I Want to Be Adored by the Stone Roses.
Rightly so, rightly so.
I like that.
Yeah, that's good. Well, thank you very much. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. It's been lovely speaking.
Alright then,
Level up to a VIP ticket. Enjoy secret sets, no queues and luxury restrooms. Catch secret performances in our members club, award-winning cocktails and feast on high-end food. This is all for just £28 upgrade for our Planet VIP ticket for Park Life, coming Manchester June. Park Life 2017.
Alan! Steve! You waiting for the bus again? You what? I said, are you waiting for the bus again? I am. You can get this new bus to Oxford Road for a quid. A squid? A quid?
Magic Bus provided by Stagecoach.
Magic.
Oh, so bored. What can we do today?
How about we go bowling?
How about boring?
Laser Quest?
More like laser no.
Let's watch a film.
I'd rather watch paint dry.
Fine, let me think of something else. How about the Manchester Museum?
How much is it?
It's free.
Free? Let's go!
Hello and welcome back to part 2 of the rave review section. Earlier on in the show we looked at why 5th Avenue was named one of the worst nightclubs in the UK, but now we're going to focus on something a little more positive. A few weeks back I attended the Happy Mondays concert at the Bowlers Exhibition Centre. It was their first gig in Manchester since 2015 as part of a Manchester themed rave. Alongside them were some of the biggest names from that era, such as K-Class, Daz from 808 State and Clint Booney. Of course, over the course of the night, I took to the masses to find out their thoughts on the whole experience.
The night has been absolutely fantastic. Better than I anticipated, actually. I didn't know what I was coming to. My friend bought tickets, I went along with it. I'm a little bit of the older crowd, 40 plus, and to be fair, it's been everything I wanted and more. They've been brilliant.
10 out of 10.
From what I can remember of them, no, honestly, they were amazing. One of the best nights I've ever had, to be honest.
And they twisted our melons, man. They made it so hip. They twisted our melons, man.
Oh, they're normally not very good live, but tonight they were actually exceptional.
The Happy Mondays graced the stage at around 11 PM, being fashionably late as always. They played all of their best known hits to an electrifying crowd, which was a truly mesmerising sight. And it wasn't just a live performance from the Happy Mondays which made the night so special. When I spoke to the audience, many people kept saying how different this night felt. There wasn't a single fight to be picked, and some of the Hacienda's best DJs showed face at the event. They even had space for a couple of fairground rides. And this night seemed to bring people together, old ravers and new ravers, so I asked a few healthy participants how this night compared to all of the others.
This is more ravey. That was in G-Max. This is more of a. This is a bit more organised.
But it was still good.
Even though, like, I didn't grow up listening to this, it is legit just like some of the best music, some of the most memorable music in history.
This one's a lot better, like, because you know you're not getting any trouble in there, mate. All people want to listen to the same thing that they're listening to. No bother at all, and you got more space in there than in one of them crap night boats, all that. Way better.
I think you appreciate it a little bit more now because it's reminiscent, isn't it? So they've played everything that you could imagine that take you back to the best nights, which, in all honesty, you had to live it. And if you lived it, they've just taken you back there.
Overall, I have to say the event was a massive success. It was well organised and everyone seemed to enjoy themselves. The drinks were flowing and many voices were lost that night. With the Happy Mondays recently releasing several new tour dates, ranging from Brighton to Manchester, I would definitely recommend copying yourself some tickets. Prices are averaging at around the £30 mark, which seems fair based on my estimations, and you will certainly not regret it.
That sounded like great fun there, Theo. Loving the good vibes there. Still coming up in the show, one listener will play the Oh Man Goya quiz, where there are 2 VIP Park Live tickets to be won. But now, Leon continues his journey around the record shops in the Northern Quarter.
This is Madchester on Utter Radio.
I'm now outside Eastern Bloc Records, which has a different take on how to sell vinyls to a customer. The whole bottom floor is renovated into a lovely little vintage cafe, with half of the upstairs being available to sell records. And I'm just going to go in now and explain what it's like to you. So when you come in, you're first greeted with the cafe, which you can hear now downstairs. And once you actually come up the stairs here, you then kind of transferred into this vinyl wonderland. There's a huge big disco ball connected to the ceiling with loads of little record players and records everywhere. I'm just going to go speak to one of the workers now. Hello, Tom.
Hello.
So what is Eastern Bloc Records? Why do people come here?
Eastern Bloc Records is a store that's been opened in Manchester for about 30 years now. It is a store that specialises in mainly dance music, but that spreads out into house, techno, disco, funk, soul, into what you call world music, so into African music and Latin music, and any of its derivatives.
Especially the last couple of years, there's been a huge resurgence within vinyl. Do you reckon that's fair to say?
I mean, to be honest, because we are like a specialist store and we do specialise in underground dance music, I think that our customers have always been buying records despite the resurgence. The resurgence seems to be more commercial music which can be marketed at the general public, whereas I think people who've been buying records for 10, 15, 20 years aren't really affected by the resurgence because it's never really gone away. I think it depends on the person. Personally, I've never been a huge fan of CDs because they scratch and the jackets break and they don't hold the same sort of allure or mystique as a record. But I still think it's a valuable format. I don't think the CD will ever go away.
I wanted to end my day back where I started it, so I'm currently on the 3rd floor of the famous Afflex building in the Northern Quarter in the lovely cafe here at the top floor. And next to that cafe is a vinyl shop called Vinyl Resting Place, owned by a proud owner and a friend of mine, Alistair. I wanted to find out how vinyl success has benefited his career, so let's go find out. Since the turn of the digital era, did you ever think the day would ever come that vinyl would outsell the CD?
Personally, no, but because when it got to about 2007 and the 12-inch single was a lot harder to find, I thought that was it then. I thought, you know, they were still pressing them, but in such small quantities that they were going to phase them out completely. So it's taken another 6-7 years on top of that to go completely the other way, and it's taken me by surprise, really. I was always buying it anyway, regardless, because it's just my personal passion. And another thing is, with the records as well, you've got the human control by watching them spin. You know, you can read the liner notes, you can take them out the sleeve, put it on, watch it spin, read the lyrics, and things like that. I mean, with a download on a CD, you just put it in somewhere.
And you might get the digital download, that's it.
Exactly, you're pressing play, but you're not really playing anything in a strange way. But with a record, you can, it's the tangible kind of quality of it, which it's grabbing a lot of people's attention, it seems, which is nice.
Manchester Mondays.
Yo, so I hope you enjoyed that Manchester Mondays package this week. Please do go out around the Northern Quarter and explore all its wonderful record shops. You just don't know what you're going to find. Even if you're not a fan of music, I guarantee you'll be a fan of records. But anyways, enough talk about that and how you guys can get involved in Manchester's nightlife. And this week I wanted to promote Manchester's hip-hop scene and its nightlife. So I met up with a girl called CJ, who's an activist in the Manchester hip-hop scene, and this is what she had to say.
I hear no, see no, speak.
I'm here with CJ. How are you doing?
Good, thanks, yeah.
Yeah, is everything going well?
Yeah, all well, thanks.
Do you mind telling people, for those who don't know, like what you do in the community?
Yeah, well, I'm sort of a music journalist / blogger. I write for Doing Bits magazine. I write for a Block to Block collective. I put on a lot of shows. They're very supportive of the hip hop scene as well. Basically, I'm just a hip hop fan.
Where are the best venues? Just a couple names of places to experience hip hop in Manchester.
In terms of local hip hop, you've got the Golden Egg Cyphers, which run at Fallow Cafe in Fallowfield. So that's basically a load of MCs, open mic, good vibes, and if you've got a few bars yourself, you're more than welcome to jump on microphone as well. Other nights like Apple Bum play like American hip hop, but then they'll have like smaller acts playing, like more local acts.
Who would you think is the biggest hip hop talent in Manchester at the moment, and how can people go get hold of them?
For me personally, it's probably going to be Black Josh, so you can get hold of him on Black Josh 8 on Facebook, and I think it's the same for his Twitter as well.
I'm not a novice, got knowledge and that knowledge I'll say, cause I'm not in humble.
This is Manchester on Utter Radio.
Hi guys, well, due to some difficulties with timing, we're not actually going to have time for the quiz in today's show. However, if you tune in tomorrow, there was a rollover with 4 VIP Parklife tickets on the line. So make sure you tune in then, and we'll see if you are celebrating as much as I am today. And so we have actually reached the end of our show. Thank you for tuning in to Madchester. I've been Hugh.
I've been Theo.
And I've been Leon.
Take care, guys. Ta-da for now.